Today's December 16 is the 16th day of sharing a Bible verse every day leading up to Christmas. Today's verses, two of them, Romans 5, 8 through 9, which says, "But God shows his love for us, and that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Since therefore we have now been justified by his blood, much more shall we be saved by him from the wrath of God." These also are some of my favorite verses. In yesterday's verses, John 14, verses 15 and 21, we focused on one way we can show our love for God. In today's verses, though, it shows one of the ways that God's shown his love for us. Let's go through it. But God shows his love for us, and then while we were still sinners, and how did he show his love for us? Christ died for us. Christ died on the cross and took the weight of our sins so that we could have a relationship with God, and that instead of looking at us in our sin, God is able to look at Jesus when we have a relationship with him, and look at Jesus' perfectness, and then he can call us who have given our life to him, his children. And even though we will sin, our sin is covered by Jesus' blood, that we are able to be forgiven because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. That doesn't mean that we can just sin because Jesus' blood covers it. No, it means that if we've truly asked God to come into our lives and save us, we're going to be striving not to sin. Just like yesterday's verses said, we can say we love him all we want, but unless we're showing it, it's not true. One thing I really like about this verse, though, is that when it says, while we were still sinners, it sounds almost like past tense. We are still sinners, but God is able to look at Jesus in his pureness rather than us. Yeah, even though we're still sinners, in God's eyes, we're righteous. And then the second verse, since therefore we have now been justified by his blood. We have been declared righteous and not guilty. It's like in court when the judge declares someone as being innocent. God sees us as innocent because of his son, Jesus. And then it says, much more shall we be saved by him from the wrath of God. So through Jesus, it says, be saved by him, Jesus. What will we be saved from? It says we'll be saved from the wrath of God. Now, God's wrath isn't just anger like we have. It's his hatred for sin. God still loves us, but there's no way for God to have a relationship with us because of our sin. But Jesus died on the cross and made a way that instead of seeing us in our sin, God sees Jesus in his perfectness and is able to have a relationship with us through Jesus. So yeah, I really like these verses, some of my favorites. I didn't actually specifically remember Romans 5:9, but then looking back at it, I thought it was a very good verse, and I just decided to add it in with Romans 5:8. So if you are still stuck in your sin and don't have a relationship with God and haven't been justified by Jesus' blood on the cross, I pray that you would ask Jesus to come into your life and save you so that you can have a relationship with God. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 17.